Have you ever wondered how to choose dishes from a restaurant menu that are both tasty and healthy? Hey, I'm Dr. Anna. I'm a medical doctor. I was trained in Italy. And here we'll explore how the principles of the Mediterranean diet can be followed even when dining out at a restaurant. Now let's take a step back for a second. Generally speaking, eating at home tends to be a healthier option. And why is this? Well, it's because we have total control over what is going into our dishes. But when you're at a restaurant, things can get a bit more complex. The elaborate descriptions on a restaurant menu can get confusing. Not to mention, the strong aromas wafting from a kitchen can be extremely distracting. And this might tempt you to order something that you would not have otherwise ordered or you weren't even thinking about before you entered the restaurant. And then what can happen is you decide to ignore your diet and ignore the principles of healthy eating to indulge and enjoy for the moment, but that often is going to leave you with feeling full of regret the following day. And not only that, it's going to put you at a place where you're even further away from achieving your health goals. So here are my 4 favorite Mediterranean diet principles to apply in a restaurant setting so you never fall into the trap. So principle number 1, when looking at a restaurant menu, I want you to focus on the cooking method that's used more than the actual foods that are in the dish. The truth of the matter is, not all cooking methods are alike. Things that are fried, breaded, or battered are often very heavy and full of unhealthy oils. Not only this, these types of cooking methods often cover up the flavors of whatever is underneath it, whether that's meat, fish, or something else. They coat it and cover it up so that you're not really engaging with the actual food that you're eating. Instead, what I like to do to follow Mediterranean diet principles is to opt for things that are grilled, steamed, sauteed, baked, or roasted. These types of cooking methods are often lighter in added oils, and they often bring out the flavor of whatever it is that you're cooking. They pull out the natural juices in the food, so whether it's meat, fish, or vegetables, you're going to get a very complex layering of flavors that is honestly one of the best parts of the Mediterranean diet, is all the richness of flavor. Principle 2, when dining out at a restaurant, is to focus on choosing your main dish and leave everything else that you order to be vegetables. The goal with focusing your efforts on whatever main dish you're going for is that likely that's also going to be the bulk of what you eat. So if your main dish is going to be something healthy, well, you know that you're giving your body the nutrition it really needs. And the way I always like to think about which dish to choose that's going to be healthiest is to make sure it includes what I like to call the healthy trifecta, that it has protein, healthy fats, and fiber. So when you're at a restaurant, if your main dish that includes all of these things leaves you still feeling hungry, you can fill up with other things that are vegetables, something like a vegetable soup, a salad, or a side of vegetables that might be grilled, steamed, sauteed, or roasted in the oven. This approach of choosing your main healthy dish and then other vegetables to include is going to help you feel full on the right things. Now, my 3rd principle for you when eating out at a restaurant is to make sure that whatever you're ordering for your meal is loaded with protein. Choosing the focus of your dish to be a source of lean protein, whether that's beans or lentils, whether that's fish, or whether that's lean poultry like turkey or chicken, or even certain cuts of red meat, is going to be setting your metabolism up for success and leave you feeling full and satisfied. Now, a little trick I like to do is that in general, according to the Mediterranean diet, red meat is not the focus, and it is not something that we want to be eating on a daily basis. It's usually eaten in lesser amounts, maybe just a couple of times a week maximum. So in general, I'm eating most of my meals at home and then a few times a week going out to a restaurant. With this balance, I tend to not buy red meat for cooking at my house. Instead, I save red meat as a treat for when I'm out at a restaurant, so that when I'm looking at a menu and I see things like steak, a burger, lamb chops, meatballs, that would be a time when I can indulge and enjoy that item, because I know overall I'm not eating that kind of a thing on a daily basis. This can make things more enjoyable when you're out at a restaurant eating in a social setting. Maybe you're with friends, family, or colleagues, and you don't necessarily want fingers pointed at you for trying to eat certain things or making other people look bad if they're not choosing to eat those types of things. Unfortunately, these stigmas do exist in our society, but balancing out the times when you are going to order red meat is a perfect approach. Here's my 4th Mediterranean diet principle for applying when eating out, and it is to follow healthy habits in a restaurant setting. So not only is it important for choosing the right menu items for Mediterranean diet success, but you want to approach the entire meal and eating process with the right habits and and I break them down in this video over here. Go ahead, check it out. Those 4 habits are going to leave you feeling so successful the next time you eat out. I'll see you over there.